Okay, go. All right, so if you guys are interested in making a dome, the first thing to understand is what size to make the circle. So a lot of you guys figured that out on paper, which is really good. And so if I want this to be an inch tall and about 2 inches in diameter, I might want to make a 3-inch dome. So I'm adding the depth to the overall diameter, which is a little bit confusing. And then copper stretches, so it's even a little more confusing. So make it out of a paper model first to help you, and then just trace it, and then you'll really get the right size that you want. So when you're making a dome, you always have to cut out a circle. And because it's larger than our dapping tool, we can't just smash it in here. That's not going to work. So if you're making a dome that exceeds this size, we need to move on to the stumps. Okay? My dome even exceeds the size of these. So how am I going to do this? I'm going to show you guys a little technique called sinking. And sinking is when you actually sink the metal into a hollow space. All right? I'm going to use a round hammer, and I'm going to, just like with the cone, I'm going to start from the outside, go all the way around. Once I've met my middle, I'm going to step in a little bit like the downward spiral, a little further in, and I'm hammering it. Okay? So when I'm hammering it, I'm finding an area. I'm not directly in the middle. I'm holding it at an angle, and I'm beginning to hammer it like this. And I'm turning it like a pizza. Spinning it like a pizza. So once you guys see this, you can see how much I've made it go down already. If you make it go too deep too fast, you'll start to get all these ripples, and sometimes you can iron them out with a hammer, but sometimes it's hard. So it's easier to keep it in check if you don't hammer too hard. You always anneal your metal first, so it's really easy to move. And this is one round, all the way at the edge. See how much I've moved it already? So my next step is to go just right below that round, okay? So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm making sure my hammer is directly over the hole so that that's the hollow negative space where the metal can flow into, okay? You can do this with an oval shape. You can do this with any shape you want. You just follow the perimeter of the shape, and you can make anything kind of bulge out like this. Okay? So, can you get, I'm videotaping. So I'm going around, going around, going around. So, deeper, right? It's like a little candy dish. Now, I don't like these ripples. It drives me nuts, so I like to fix them. So I'll go on the flat surface, and I'll just kind of tap them out. Okay, then I'll continue on. So I'm getting closer to the middle, so it's going to be little tiny circle now. So that was pretty quick. That's considered to be one round. So if I wanted to do this again and make it more even and deeper, I would do the same exact process starting from the outside, working my way in. Now, I feel like I can get one more round out of this before I anneal. But once your metal starts to become work hardened, you have to anneal it and start the process over again. Okay? Does everybody kind of understand this? There's a way to smooth this out too later. So it doesn't matter what size you use. You can use this hole for any size. Does that make sense? Sweet. Thank you.